I'm Syra Draper. I'm the state representative for House District 90 in DeKalb County and Atlanta. As a civil rights attorney who specializes in voting and elections work, democracy issues are always front of mind to me. And we have a major issue in DeKalb County that will affect 1 in 10 DeKalb residents. 1 in 10 DeKalb residents may go without county commission representation for over 9 months if we don't fix this issue. So I'm going to tell you what the issue is, and stick around with me until the end of the video, where I'm going to give you very specific, actionable advice on what you can do to help the situation and get representation for DeKalb County citizens. Okay, so this is a map of the DeKalb County commissioners. We have 7 different commission districts in DeKalb County, and 2 county commissioners recently stepped down from their position. So the District 3 commissioner stepped down, and the District 7 commissioner stepped down. And 7 is a super district, so it covers half of DeKalb County. And so almost half of the residents of DeKalb County are now down a commissioner. And 1 in 10 DeKalb County residents do not have any commission representation at all, because they fall in this intersection where District 3 and District 7 overlap. So they have no county representation whatsoever. So what's the solution? The solution is we need to hold a special election to fill those vacancies and get people their representation, right? People pay taxes. They want to have somebody that they can go to help them resolve their issues. That's only natural. Well, now, under the law, that special election can only occur when a regular election is taking place. So what that means is it can only occur in May when we have our primary coming up, or it could occur in November when we have our general election coming up. People in DeKalb County want that special election to happen in May because they want representation. They want to know that they're represented on the county commission. They don't want to wait until November. But there's a problem because under the law as it's written currently, if DeKalb County were to have this special election in May, they would have to do something that we call a separate and apart election. It's basically a parallel election that would require them to have separate ballots for this special election, separate equipment for this special election, a separate set of poll workers for this special election. And it's just administratively, I'm going to go ahead and say it, impossible for them to hold these parallel elections in May. And so what the DeKalb County Board of Elections wants to do, and in fact what they decided yesterday, is that they're going to punt this special election from May till November. But the citizens of DeKalb County don't want that, because as I said, they need representation now. They don't want to wait 9 months or maybe 10 months if there's a runoff to have representation on the county commission. That's not fair. Now, I'm telling you this affects DeKalb County, and that's true. It's affecting DeKalb County right now. But this situation has affected counties across Georgia. And in fact, it's affecting Atlanta and Fulton County right now because council member Keisha Waits just stepped down from her position to run for county clerk, and they're same issue with her special election. They're not going to be able to hold her special election in May. They're going to have to punt until November. So there's going to be a swath of people in Atlanta that don't have a county council member. So this is an issue that happens all over, and we need to close that loophole. So I looked at the Georgia Code, and there's a really easy way to close this loophole. I have been working, we're in session right now, we're in legislative session right now, and I've been working with my colleagues in the Senate to add an amendment to existing legislation that would close this loophole and basically allow DeKalb County to hold the county commissioner's race in May without having to make it a separate and apart election, without having to do a separate election. They could just combine it with the May election. Now, here's the problem. They told me they were going to add the amendment. They said yes, that's a good idea. That affects us too. And as of this morning, they still haven't added the amendment. So I need your help. I have a form on my website where you can contact personally the chairman of the ethics committee in the Senate. That's the person who's ultimately going to make this decision, Chairman Burns. And you can send him an email asking him to put my amendment on an existing piece of legislation. And if we can get my amendment on that legislation, we can close a loophole that is tying DeKalb's hands essentially, and we can have a race in May to cover those county commission districts, and people in DeKalb can have the representation that they are entitled to. So go to my website, click on the link. It's easy. You just have to click, and you can send an email right away to Chairman Burns and ask him to put this amendment on existing legislation. Now, here's the thing. The hearing is on Thursday. It's this Thursday, 1.5 days from now, so please do it now. We want to flood his inbox with emails and let him know, look, we need his help. This is a big issue. This is not just Representative Draper that's asking for this. This is DeKalb County that needs this. And you know what? If you're not in DeKalb County and you think that representation is important, we want to hear from you too. If you're in Atlanta and you're affected by this, or you're somewhere else in Georgia and you've been affected by this, please reach out. This is a loophole we could easily close, and it would be better for representation in Georgia. Thank you for your help.